And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of our Thursday broadcast here on LIV Radio. We call this Tech and Future Talk. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live from 9 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 12 noon Eastern Time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa Time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Thursday. It is the 13th of February, 2025 in the Western calendar. This corresponds to the year 6265 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the seventh millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginblack.com. I think we've got a program that you are really going to enjoy today. Today we are talking about spectacular discoveries along the pathway to quantum advancement. This is a book that I am putting together. This book will be under the pseudonym I Am Ka, and will rely in large part upon artificial intelligence, AI, to help me to compile the book. The book will probably be done rather quickly. It might be done by next week. Quite likely, it should take no more than about 3 or 4 days to put a book together in this manner. I do like doing it, but I do not make it a habit to write a book with AI comprising most of the text, because it requires so much editing to make the book feel like it's actually my book. But a lot of people are doing that these days. And so in 2023, when I was able to put out 10 books during the course of that year, 2 of the 10 books were using AI. The first of one was called AI Has a God Complex, where I wrote a book about the risks and promises of AI, using AI to write the book. And it actually turned out better than I thought it would. So I did a second book that year, which I have here in my hand. This is Scientific Futurism. And when I write using AI, I use the nom de plume I Am Ka. Ka meaning soul, but in ancient Kemet. But Ka also are my initials, Kidi Awadu. I am Ka, the brother from the future. So normally you see my books, it will say from Kidi Awadu or Kidi Obi Awadu, author of the Conscious Rasa Report. Well, this is I Am Ka, the brother from the future. And I take a futurist perspective. So let me introduce today's program, and then let's get right into it. I hope you find this to be informative, inspiring, engaging. Here's what we have on the table for today. Spectacular discoveries. This from the series Quantum Advancement. Today on LIB Radio, we begin a series of discussions centered around the rapid shift into another, quote, industrialization beyond the third, fourth, and fifth industrial revolutions. We are starting to see more quantum technologies coming into development. From our perspective of a future resembling that of Wakanda in the 2018 movie Black Panther, we now seek to unleash our innovative, creative, and developmental capacities. We seek to witness spectacular discoveries along the magnificent journey to quantum advancement. And that is, of course, the title of the book. So that's what we're doing today. I hope you find this to be compelling. I hope that you also will contribute to the ideas going into the book. There may be a question that comes into your mind. Again, we're seeking to unleash our collective innovative creative genius. So there may be something that comes into your mind, a question that needs to be responded to along this magnificent journey. Well, I encourage you to do so. So let's go forward. I want to begin with this Wakanda perspective that I mentioned earlier. And what I can do, well, let's just leave that open. Had this not microphone, this light on my face. Today it's this morning, wake up here in Las Vegas. We have having our first session of rain in many, many, many months. Hopefully we'll get a lot of rain in the next 2 weeks when it's supposed to be another atmospheric river coming in to the West Coast. It's problematic to have these deluges of rain. I think isn't that the right word? Rain deluge. It's problematic because it's too much at too little a time. But when it hasn't rained for so long, we need all of the moisture, all of the precipitation we can possibly get, especially if it goes up into the mountains and stays there as snowpack. That way it'll trickle down into the valley over the course of months, hopefully. So, Black Panther science technology. Again, using AI inquiries, and much of this I probably will keep in the movie Black Panther. Several technologies can be considered as part of a quantum advancement of science and technology. For instance, the vibranium-powered devices and the advanced suits, like the Black Panther suit, utilize principles that could be analogous to quantum technology. These devices often exhibit properties such as superposition and entanglement, which are key features of quantum mechanics. Additionally, the Kimoyo beads, which are advanced communication devices, could be seen as a futurist application of quantum principles, allowing for secure and highly efficient data transmission and storage. These technologies, while fictional, reflect the potential of quantum information science in real-world applications such as quantum computing and cryptography. Continuing, and I had little pieces of information I was grabbing from different places. I think I grabbed this next piece of information from my own book. This is Scientific Futurism. By 2040, quantum computing will become mainstream, leading to major breakthroughs in fields like drug discovery, climate modeling, and cryptography. Quantum physics is a branch of physics that describes the behavior of matter and energy at the atomic and subatomic levels. So going back to this idea of Wakanda, searching for quotes related to the Black Panther movie, that would take us into this mindset of a quantum future. According to the context, these are several quotes that link Wakanda and the future. Number one, Shuri, the young scientific genius, her quote on legacy and tradition. She encourages, now this is not a direct quote from the movie, this is kind of a synopsis of what the quote was about. Shuri encourages Riri to work despite any opposition and to be confident about her inventions and intelligence, no matter the older generation's thoughts, knowing that change isn't always appreciated. And I think that's a relevant point. Point two, Queen Ramonda's moving speeches. Queen Ramonda has no shortage of moving speeches in Black Panther. Wakanda forever. As a queen, she's filled with a fierce love for her nation. And after all the loss, she has been forced to endure, Ramonda finally reaches her wall, showing desperation, a plea for something, anything to change. Namor's character and the future of Wakanda. Namor's character is meant to be menacing, a powerful figure willing to sacrifice anything for his own self-interest, and his army has power that can match the mighty Dora Milaje, shattering Wakanda's facade as an impenetrable world power. And this threat is just the beginning. Now, some of these characters, I don't really remember them. I did see the movie probably about 3 or 4 times now, but it's been a while. 2018, that's 7 years ago. Shuri's struggle with her legacy. Shuri's struggle with her legacy will be a recurring theme in her development throughout the film, as she reaches a similar conclusion during her final confrontation with Namor, that a ruler must consider the future of their people as well. Next, Riri's point on heroes. Riri provides some levity during stressful situations, pointing out that it seems like a bad time to run out of heroes when underwater super warriors are on the attack. And I don't know, was that, I don't know if that was from the 2018 movie or another movie. I don't remember underwater super warriors, so bear with me, y'all. If you out there remember some of these points and can help me out by helping to anchor, type a little bit of text in the box, and I would love to hear what you have to say. Your opinion matters, most certainly. And if you can't type anything, can I at least get you to hit the like button for today's video? And if you haven't already, follow us on Rumble, which is our main broadcast. Today we are on YouTube. And hopefully this conversation is not so threatening that we get a strike against us for talking about a movie, talking about the future. And you know, it could be. One never knows, does one? Going forward, we're still on examination. We're looking for more of these points about the futurist innovations in the 2018 movie Black Panther. So, continuing, this from one of the Chat GPT engines. I can't remember which one this is. I think this is probably Copilot. I could be corrected. Describe the futurist innovations in the 2018 movie Black Panther. Point 1. Introducing, it says, in Black Panther, several futurist innovations and technologies are showcased, reflecting the advanced society of Wakanda. Here are some key innovations featured in the film. Number 1, vibranium, the most significant resource in Wakanda. Vibranium is a fictional metal with extraordinary properties. It can absorb, store, and release energy, making it a crucial element in various technologies and weapons. And this reminds us of things that are already in development that we have explored here on LIB Radio many times. These would parallel super caps, super capacities, SUPER capacities. Super caps are called, I'll just call them super caps right now. Capacitors, I think it's super capacitors. I may be wrong about that. Super caps. This would also include rare earth materials and other forms of advanced materials development. And I've done research into all 3 of those super caps. We're talking about making super capacity batteries and transistors, even using hemp in replacement of graphite. I wrote about that And probably will copycat and paste that from the book. The book is called Industrial Hemp, Uses and Opportunities. My own book. Sometimes I got to remember the names of my own book. I was looking at it just a little bit ago. I didn't pull it off the shelf. Industrial Hemp, Uses and Opportunities. Yes, they're talking about using hemp materials to develop super capacity battery technology. And the beautiful thing about it is that the cost to produce these technologies using hemp was phenomenally less. I'm talking about less by tens of thousands of savings, of percentage savings in developing these technologies. Really quite amazing. Next point, advanced transportation. Now, this is something I got in my mind. Wakanda features highly advanced transportation systems, including flying vehicles known as jet crafts that utilize vibranium technology. The design of these crafts is sleek and futuristic, allowing for rapid travel across the nation. And this is something that has been one of my obsessions, advanced transportation. We are seeing African continental transportation moving very rapidly, especially with the development of standard gauge railroads. And now they're even talking about putting in ultra high speed standard gauge railroads. They're much faster as they are right now. I did travel one from Nairobi to Mombasa and back, and it was wonderfully impressive. Probably traveled at about 100 to maybe 130 or 40 kilometers per hour. It was pretty fast. But now they're talking about mimicking the super bullet trains that operate in places like Japan and China and South Korea. United States doesn't have that technology yet. Other countries are developing that technology, and a half a century ago, these countries developing that technology 70 years ago were devastated during the Second Great Global War. Number 3, holographic technology. Wakanda, the film Black Panther showcases advanced holographic displays used for communication and information sharing. Characters interact with 3D holograms for various purposes, including strategic planning and data analysis. Number 4 of these innovations, futurist innovations from the Black Panther movie, medical technology. Wakanda's healthcare system is depicted as highly advanced, with technologies that can heal injuries and diseases at an accelerated rate. The use of vibranium in medical applications allows for innovative treatments and surgeries. Number 5, the Black Panther suit. T'Challa's suit is made from a vibranium weave, which not only provides enhanced protection, but also absorbs kinetic energy from impacts, allowing him to release that energy in powerful bursts. The suit is also equipped with advanced technology for stealth and combat. Point number 6 from the Black Panther movie, artificial intelligence. The film features an AI system called Griot, or Griot, which assists the characters with various tasks, including navigation and data management. This reflects the integration of AI into everyday life in Wakanda. Number 7, urban design and architecture. And I should at this point maybe show some of my own urban architectural designs that I have developed that complement these ideas of the Wakanda future. And I don't have mine up in this program. I do have mine up in Zoom, but I don't have time to look for those right now while I'm on this show. Maybe by next week, I'll start to use my own AI renderings of from the African future. And those of you who have heard us talk over the years many times about Kujichagulia villages, I have a spectacular set of renderings that complement that we're actually working to get into reality, into physical spaces. So going forward, we're talking about urban design and architecture. Wakanda's architecture combines traditional African elements with futuristic designs, showcasing advanced building materials and sustainable practices. The city is depicted as a harmonious blend of nature and technology, and that's exactly what my renderings do. Let me see if I can real quickly find one of these renderings. I use it on my Zoom page, and it's really quite popular. So where is it? I've got to go to Documents. I'm going to Kiri, Kiiri. I know where it is. Kiji Village. And with Kiji Village, I have these homes and houses and renderings and buildings and things. And I'm going to show you one that I use when I'm on the Zoom. And it's really people always complimenting. Hey, I want to live where you have in your background. And this is exactly what I'm talking about right now. So this is one of the renderings. And I think you will see it right now. There we go. This is our Wakanda future. Traditional round houses that are blended in with technology, solar power, renewable energy. There's all kind of things we've woven into these Kujichagulia village designs. I hope you find this to be compelling and fascinating. Going forward, number 8, energy solutions. Wakanda is shown to have developed sustainable energy solutions, harnessing vibranium to power their technologies and infrastructure without relying on fossil fuels. Well, in our Kujichagulia villages, we also are developing renewable energy microgrids, incorporating solar photovoltaic, solar thermal, geothermal, wind power, and biomass gas generation. Now, we don't have vibranium in the mix yet, but something could happen. There's been a lot of buzz. There continues to be a lot of buzz in recent days and recent weeks about Maxwell Chikumbutsu from Zimbabwe having invented a new power generating technology called microsonic generation. I did a program, I think 1 week ago, where I do not acknowledge this as real. I do not. I've studied it closely. I pointed out what I regard as hard evidence this is a fake. But the Zimbabweans and a couple of people are getting a whole bunch of YouTube views continuing to promote it, and I think that's really why they're doing it. Nobody has ever proven to me or confirmed that they really know how to even confirm that this is true. The only way they say you could confirm it, and I heard Maxwell Chikumbutsu, I think that's his name, talk about driving a car from Cape Town to Cairo. And people all buzz and say, yeah, that's how you do it. But where's the car from Cape Town to Cairo? Hey, just drive a car from Cape Town to Johannesburg and back to Cape Town. You could do that in 2 days and prove that this car never needs recharging. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm not going to dwell on that because I'm not going to push that to get YouTube views. No. You don't need that from me. Energy solutions. Wakanda shown to have developed sustainable energy solutions, harnessing vibranium to power their technologies and infrastructure without relying on fossil fuels. And last closing point, these innovations not only serve as a backdrop for the story of Black Panther, but also highlight themes for progress, responsibility and the potential of sustainable technological development to improve society while addressing the importance of cultural inheritance and the potential of sustainable technological development. Yes, very true. So, going forward, hallmarks of a quantum future. Here I'm going into the book because I had this chapter in, I think I'm going to the book. Yeah, their book had a lot of, this is scientific futurism, so it had a lot of this quantum stuff in it. But this new book is not going to be a rehash of the previous book. This new book is going to take you to a whole new level. Hallmarks of a quantum future. For those of us who imagine ourselves building, creating this quantum future, this is the point where it's supposed to start engaging your imagination. Now, I have an audience that's building, but I don't see anybody talking to me. So if you're out there, if you love your brother, you know how we treat each other. Going forward, hallmarks of a quantum future include faster computing. Quantum computers will be able to solve complex problems much faster than classical computers, potentially revolutionizing fields like cryptography, optimization, and simulation. Point 2, secure communications. Quantum technologies will enable secure communication channels that are resistant to hacking using principles like quantum key distribution. That has great potential, especially to combat cybercrime, undeniably so. Point 3, advanced sensing. Quantum sensors will offer unprecedented precision and sensitivity, enhancing applications in navigation, medical diagnostics, and environmental monitoring. Hallmarks of a quantum future. Point 4, new materials. Quantum research will lead to the development of novel materials with unique properties, beneficial for electronics, energy storage, and more. And much of that was depicted in the Black Panther movie with the Black Panther's suit, as well as the suit that was put together by his rival Killmonger. And we can only imagine what we can do with these as we advance. Point 5, quantum internet. A quantum internet could connect quantum computers and sensors across vast distances, enabling distributed quantum computing and secure communication networks. There's already some development going in with that, with people volunteering their computers to be hooked up to a vast network, creating one big web of computers that will now start to advance quantum computing capabilities. Now they're starting to produce chips, quantum chips. Let me put that down because that's another very important. We talked about quantum internet, and we could talk about communications using quantum chips. Not quantum, Quantum, microchips already in development. See, these give me ideas to go what to search for to include in the book. Number 6, enhanced cryptography. Quantum computers will necessitate new cryptographic methods to protect data from quantum attacks, leading to advancements in post-quantum cryptography. And it's going to be interesting, quantum attacks against quantum computers to be protected from quantum cryptography or protected by quantum cryptography. It kind of puts me in the mindset of remembering that there are no small number of people who have indicated that AI, the introduction and proliferation of artificial intelligence, is poses many serious perils to the normalcy, the balance, the justice within society. And I'm going to agree with that. AI in the hands of people who have beastly intentions, people who rob and steal and cheat and lie and do everything to advance their narcissistic position at the cost of other people, such as what we see happening in Palestine. These people do this to other human beings, ruthlessly so. And so now they're getting more and more powerful tools into their hands. This could be very risky, especially when AI goes autonomous. And people are predicting that it will happen maybe as soon as 2040. One never knows. This will obviously have to be in the book. Spectacular discoveries along the pathway to quantum advancement. Point number 7, improved medical diagnostics. Quantum technologies will enhance medical imaging and diagnostic tools, potentially leading to earlier detection and more accurate diagnoses. I have no problem with that, although we are quite problematic with the expenses of using these technologies like MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, and CAT scans. The cost of them is so prohibitive, it's bankrupting families. And the medical industries are profiteering from the introduction of these technologies way beyond what's fair, what's reasonable, what's in line with natural evolution across medical research and development. Recently, we understand the DOGE, D-O-G-E, Department of Government Efficiency, headed by Elon Musk and part of the Trump administration, that this group, DOGE, has, by accessing government files, has found hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars worth of government waste. And when we talk about government waste, the National Institutes of Health, Department of Health and Human Services, the CDC, FDA, and all of these related to American medical development, is the highest R&D budget of any country in the world in history. But patient satisfaction among 38 nations of OECD puts the United States, according to one of my searches, at 37 out of 38. That sounds like a whole bunch of waste and fraud. And I was listening to news reports yesterday and today talking about how these scientists are terrified that the Trump administration is going to cut their funding in what has really become a pig trough. It's a pig trough, y'all. These gluttonous, greedy researchers, and on college campuses as well, they're just not producing what the money is being spent for. Let me back out of that dialogue. We do know that's sensitive area on streaming accounts. Going forward, we're talking about 8.8 about the hallmarks of a quantum future. Point 8, energy efficiency. Quantum computing can optimize energy systems, leading to more efficient use of resources and potentially new energy technologies. Number 9, financial modeling. Quantum algorithms can improve financial modeling and risk assessment, providing more accurate predictions and better decision making. But who will benefit from that? Who will benefit when large Wall Street traders and Forex money currency traders are using quantum computing to gain the advantage and beat the system. Yeah, that's already going on. Many of these traders have set up their own systems using very high-powered computers and uh, laser-based, is it laser-based, fiber optic-based communication networks, so they can get their trades in and out in a tiny fraction of a second. Is that fair? Well, depending on how and who defines what is fair when it comes to financial competition. Point number 10, educational and workforce development. There will be a growing need for education and training in quantum science and technology to support the development and operation of quantum technologies. Yes, there has been this grave fear that the advance of these technologies into the fourth and now the fifth industrial revolution will put a whole lot of people in the pain. Well, now with the introduction of a sixth industrial revolution, quantum technologies, will human bodies be even necessary to run complex economies? The only thing they may need humans for is to consume. And if people can't work, how are they going to consume? This could get scary, people. But we are not afraid of the future. I've stimulated some communication from my listening audience. Let me double check. See, I've got you over here. We do have, don't do that. Let's go over here. I do see Nguvu in the house. Nguvu Aquaba. Magnetic propulsion has been demonstrated on a small scale in the lab. Not sure about large scale application as of yet. This is North Pole, South Pole repulsion. Repulsion. Yes. And I know Elon Musk proposed a magnetic propulsion transportation system to connect Los Angeles to San Francisco. Elon Musk proposed this, saying that, and I think he demonstrated it on a small scale, just a very short piece of this runway, but that this would cut the travel time between Los Angeles and San Francisco down to 2 hours or so, and that's maybe a 400 to 500, 600 mile trip. But then it said that it was a fake. It wasn't necessarily a fake. It was him just creating a buzz to increase his stock valuation, and that he had no intention of completing this task because it would be just quite simply way too expensive. Just acquiring the land, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars. So, and not billions and billions, maybe $1 trillion just to acquire the land between Los Angeles and San Francisco. Some of the most expensive real estate in the world in the state of California. So maybe I'll pull that up. Let me real quickly, because I'm glad you put that on the table in Google. That's why I said thank you, thank you, thank you, because your ideas will be able to make it into the book. And that's what collaboration, cooperation is all about. So you're demonstrating that. So we're looking at what is the status? Is the status of Elon Musk magnetic Elon Musk how do you spell his name? M. Musk magnetic railway. I think that should get it. Let me just double check because I read something about that. It's a hyperloop, they call it. I read something about that just late years. Here we go. This from inverse.com. Now I'm going to open this in a new tab, but I'm also going to go back and chat GTP that question. Hyperloop. Hyperloop. There we go. So I'm going to use AI and get something that I'll be able to use for the book. Again, the book is no small part about AI, but here we go. Hyperloop, this from inverse.com. Let me just copy this link so you can have access to it as well. And here's what it has to say. I'm going to put this up for you in Google because I really appreciate your help. 9 years later, Elon Musk's biggest pipe dream may finally come true. 9 years since he first had the idea, Musk may finally try to build a Hyperloop. Written by James O'Malley, February 20, 2024. In 2013, Elon Musk had a singular idea to revolutionize intercity transport, and it had nothing to do with Tesla. Instead of self-driving electric vehicles ferrying people to and from the office, he proposed a system of tubes in which pods would ferry people at incredible speeds of up to 760 miles per hour. Musk called the system the Hyperloop, and then he didn't do anything with it. Flash forward 9 years later, and finally, we may be on the verge of seeing what an Elon Musk built Hyperloop actually looks like and how it might work. In a tweet posted April 2022, today is now 2025, Musk revealed that tunneling firm the Boring Company would attempt to build a working Hyperloop. So could we finally be gliding toward a tubular transport future? And they have a tweet here from Elon Musk. In the coming years, Boring Co. will attempt to build a working Hyperloop. From a known physics standpoint, this is the fastest possible way of getting from one city center to another for distances less than 2,000 miles. Starship is faster for longer journeys. Yeah, right. So then they go on to ask this question, what is the Hyperloop? And I see a very powerful image there that I am going to use in my quantum physics research. Hyperloop train. So what is the Hyperloop? Musk's original idea was a response to a planned new high-speed railway line in California. At the time, Musk wrote this attack on the idea, quote, how could it be that the home of Silicon Valley and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, doing incredible things like indexing all the world's knowledge and putting rovers on Mars, would build a bullet train that is both one of the most expensive per mile and one of the slowest in the world? Quote, unquote. He believed he could do better. Pods containing passengers would speed through 4-meter wide, wholly enclosed metal tubes that would be kept in a near vacuum. The pods would levitate on the track using magnetism, vibranium, a technology known as maglev that essentially nixes friction. According to calculations from Elon Musk, the proposed system would propel pods full of people at as much as 760 miles an hour. The speed would reduce the travel time from Los Angeles to San Francisco to just 35 minutes. Now that's up to 760 miles an hour. If you understand the geography of that land, it's not going to be able to run at high speed all the time. Last, there's a huge difference between demonstrating a technology works and the scalability. Very important. One more quote. After Musk published his paper, several companies took the idea and ran with it, including Virgin Hyperloop and Hyperloop Transport Technology. In 2020, Virgin Hyperloop even gave a public demonstration of their technology, successfully sending some of their employees along their track. Quote, it's difficult to distinguish between the smoke and mirrors and the actual developments that are happening, says Roberto Pallison, a reader in transport futures at Newcastle University's School of Engineering. And it goes on. There's some wonderful, beautiful images here as well. I did put up that link for our Rumble family. I'm going to put this link up on my Facebook page too, because this is the kind of stuff that is going to help me to get this book done. And for those of you who are in our YouNow family, let me put up the link here as well. Not YouNow, YouTube family. Put up the link there as well, so you can have access to it. And one more place to push this link. Okay, and there were some other things that had come up. Let me get those in the record. We talked about quantum, 10 hallmarks of a quantum future. I did that. Status of Elon Musk's Hyperloop as of October 2023. Elon Musk's Hyperloop concept, which envisions a high-speed transportation system using magnetic levitation in low-pressure tubes, has seen various developments but has not yet been fully realized as a commercial system. Several companies, including Virgin Hyperloop and the Boring Company, have been working on different aspects of the technology and infrastructure. While there have been successful tests of Hyperloop prototypes, significant challenges remain, including regulatory approvals, funding, and the construction of the necessary infrastructure. Some projects have been proposed in various locations, but none have reached the operational stage as of now. The concept continues to attract interest and investment, but its future remains uncertain. That sounds pretty good. I'm going to copy, cut, and paste that and develop those paragraphs out a little bit further. So, oh, and this is DuckDuckGo is giving me this stuff. So now I know. So continuing, I've gotten through much of the material I had put on the table for today, but I did have a whole set of different pieces that I did not yet get into the record. And this is a good one. This is an inquiry. Again, I'm using, to a large degree, using AI to create this book. The book entitled Spectacular Discoveries Along the Magnificent Journey to Quantum Advancement. So this next one is an inquiry from Copilot. Let me just cite the source here. Copilot, where are we at? Let's go to the end, Copilot. And here is the inquiry and the response. The inquiry is, what from the movie 2018 Panther can be considered as part of a quantum advancement of science and technology? I did use this response from another one a little bit earlier, so I'll have to combine these. It says, in the 2018 movie, Black Panther, several technological advancements are showcased that could be considered as part of a quantum leap in science and technology. These include 1. Kimoyo beads. Undo. Go here. 1. Turn the insert off. No, don't turn that off. Sorry about that. Here we go. Home. 1. And the insert key is stuck on. 1. Kimoyo beads. These are multifunctional devices worn on the wrists of Wakandans. They act as communication devices, health monitors, and even control interfaces for various technologies. They are similar to modern smartwatches, but far more advanced. And I like what I'm reading here. Just real quickly. Open in new tabs. One more time. And we got some more information I'm going to share here a little bit. Let me continue with this. Point number 2, vibranium technology. Come on. Bear with me. Accidentally hit. I got too many. Vibranium is a fictional metal that empowers much of Wakanda's technology. It is used in everything from the Black Panther suit to advanced weaponry and infrastructure. The concept of a super material with unique properties is a significant leap in materials science. Next point, maglev trains. Wakanda features magnetic levitation trains that can travel at incredible speeds. This technology is already in use in some parts of the world, but Wakanda's implementation is far more advanced and efficient. Number 4, holographic displays. High-definition holographic displays are used for communication and information sharing in Wakanda. This technology is a significant advancement over current display technologies. Number 5, the Black Panther suit. The suit worn by T'Challa is made of vibranium and provides enhanced strength, speed, and invulnerability. It can absorb and release massive amounts of kinetic energy, which is a significant advancement in wearable technology and energy management. These elements, while fictional, represent a vision of future technology that pushes the boundaries of what is currently possible. And then I did have several references from that, and let me just go to those references if you don't mind. The first reference is from Live, L-I-V-E Science, the article written by Mindy Weisberger from April 2018 is entitled "The Amazing Tech in Black Panther is More Realistic Than You Think." And I'll copy to that, so I'll be able to come back to this later. And here's what it says in part. Ooh, I love the picture of Shuri. Save that image, most definitely. Okay, here we go. A photograph, Wakanda princess and inventor Shuri, played by Letitia Wright, takes aim with one of her high-tech designs, vibranium-powered gauntlets. And in the blockbuster film, Black Panther, the Kingdom of Wakanda is wonderful wonderland of fantastic futuristic technology. There are self-piloting aircraft, cars and planes that can be remotely operated through virtual reality interfaces, high-definition holographic displays, and magnetic levitation train systems. There is also the newly updated Black Panther suit worn by King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, praise be his eternal name, which enhances his strength, speed, and invulnerability, and is capable of absorbing and releasing massive quantities of kinetic energy. In reality, much of what is seen on screen in Black Panther is grounded in technologies in use today. At the Future Con panel session, The Science of Black Panther, presented March 30, a group of experts, and here, let me do this. Let me put this over here so I'm looking at the camera while I'm reading it. A group of experts shared their thoughts on the groundbreaking movie, particularly the vibranium-powered technology that is Wakanda's greatest resource. And they do link to an article, which I'm going to link that article as well. entitled Science, Fact, or Fiction, the Plausibility of 10 Sci-Fi Concepts. So, in the world of Black Panther, Wakanda is arguably a global leader in technological achievement, thanks to the fictional element. The idea element could only be found in an African country is not unusual, as other elements such as chromium and titanium are abundant in Africa. Lynette Drake, a senior project leader in remediation environmental engineering for Lockheed Martin, told the panel audience. And in many African countries today, innovative use and repurposing of technology and materials is, quote, seemingly light years ahead of most of the West, unquote. Gus Casely Hayford, director of the Smithsonian National Museum of African Art, said during the panel discussion, Nigeria, Ghana, the Republic of Congo, and Cote d'Ivoire are among the world's top destinations for recycled, discarded e-waste, such as smartphones and computers, Africa Times reported last year. In Wakanda, one of the standout tech achievements is magnetic levitation, or maglev, which can already be seen in high-speed trains currently running in Japan, China, and South Korea. Suspending the trains magnetically reduces friction, enabling them to travel at incredible speeds. Charles Johnson Bay, a director of engineering and technology at Lockheed Martin, told the panel audience. Meanwhile, the biosensors in T'Challa's suit mimic wearable, flexible nanomaterials that monitor bodily functions, such as heart rate, and send information wirelessly to computers or smartphones. And the suit, providing enhanced strength and agility, is akin to exoskeletons that increase the wearer's power and stability. Johnson Bay added, shrinking T'Challa's suit to fit entirely inside his necklace might be a little beyond the capabilities of science right now. But just because no one's yet figured out how to do it doesn't mean it's impossible, Johnson Bay told the audience. Things that we don't see today, we can make them happen, he said. Asking these questions, that's how the world changes. The credit for developing Wakanda's most innovative tech, including T'Challa's suit, goes to Shuri Letitia Wright, genius inventor and T'Challa's younger sister. Her accomplishments in film send a strong message to young girls, particularly young Black girls, who rarely see themselves represented on screen as scientists or engineers. That there is a place for them in the world of engineering and tech, Drake told the audience. Be an engineer. I could relate to Shuri, Drake said. It brought me so much pride to see that. Shuri shines in the film, not only as a well-rounded and thoughtful character, but also as a talented inventor who plays a pivotal role in shaping the technological landscape of Wakanda. In fact, when an audience member asked the panelists to name the Wakandan tech that would be the most devastating if used as a weapon, David Betancourt, a staff writer and comics editor for the Washington Post, answered without hesitation. Shuri's mind, he said. And that is from an original article on Live Science. So I'm going to link to that original article, and I'm also going to save this particular article to my hard drive. This is again from Live Science, Amazing Tech and Black Panther. And real quickly, however quickly it can, the amazing tech in Black Panther is more realistic than you think. And just saving that one. And it didn't have the title come up with. I should have copied the title. But I'll print it, put it in here, Quantum Advancement, The Amazing Tech in Black Panther from Live Science. Okay, we've done quite a bit. I have some more pages pulled out, and I'm not sure if my listening audience is really feeling me on this today. I would say this much. Be prepared, because this book, I think this book will be a blueprint for innovation and discovery. I look to get this book in the hands of important people across the motherland continent. We had the conversation just yesterday. When are you coming? When are you coming? Yes, I am coming. I'm not going to tell you to be patient. I'm just going to tell you to be ready to receive your brother. Because when I do get there, I believe there's going to be a lot that we will have to share. Almost finished with the broadcast. And also acknowledging, I got this inquiry from Brother Jamal about what's going on now between the Trump administration in South Africa. And it's not pretty. Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of the Republic of South Africa, is very unhappy with Donald Trump's cutback of USAID, with Donald Trump's pulling of funding for what South Africa has unfortunately latched onto insofar as HIV research and or development, etc. And Julius Malema, the firebrand, expected to one day take over as the president of South Africa, himself launching into Elon Musk, who Elon Musk's family moved to apartheid South Africa from Canada, and from my understanding, apparently had very strong sentiments for apartheid. And now there is a land reform movement going on in South Africa where the land, despite the fact that whites in South Africa only represent 7.8% of the population, they controlled 78% of the land holdings there. 7.8% of the population but controls 78% of the land. That's not justice. That is the lingering impact of apartheid. And so Elon Musk wants to poke his chin out and say to South Africans, I dare you to swing at me. He's standing up, and Donald Trump is standing up for the white minority in South Africa, acting as if they're talking about protecting human rights. So there's something wicked that's forming there. I hope our people do pay attention. I know Queen Mother Kashiba quite frequently, and I appreciate love this, is on these subjects, on these topics, and we should be paying attention to these subjects. What I am going to do is just minimize this for right now. And nobody talking to me on YouTube. Okay, I don't need this. Let me see, there are a couple more things that we do need to be paying attention to. And let me just find them. Shrink some of these different windows I have open. The Amazing Tech in Black Panther is more realistic than you think. That one is necessary. So go in, save, copy, and close. We read that already. And I'm pushing these here for references for further research. This Live Science article I was just reading is entitled the science, fact, or fiction, the plausibility of 10 sci-fi concepts. I didn't read that one. And let me go ahead and read it and share it. Share it to Facebook. And I know, yeah, I should be doing all this off the air, but if nobody's talking to me, I got time to do it. And it's very necessary for my sake. See, you guys are watching how I do my research. I try to be very, very thorough. Here we go. The science, fact, or fiction, the plausibility of 10 sci-fi concepts. There's the link for you, Rumble family, and here's what it says. The reality of sci-fi concepts. If science fiction ruled the world, time travel and teleportation would be commonplace. And human-like intelligent machines and cyborgs would be walking amongst us. But just how likely are these and other far-out ideas? Here, Live Science examines the plausibility of 10, and here, bear with me. Are you still in the same folder? No, I'm not. Go into this folder called Quantum Advancement and save this cyborg image. Okay, so here, the plausibility of 10 popular sci-fi concepts. Point 1, aliens that look like us. From the Klingons in Star Trek to the skinny, oval-eyed creatures in classic alien abduction tales, many pop culture depictions of extraterrestrials have been decidedly human-like. But what is the likelihood intelligent alien life would resemble humankind? Scientists have proposed solid arguments for and against ET, developing a body plan similar to ours. At face value, it seems unlikely organisms on another world that underwent eons of unique evolutionary history would fit comfortably into our clothes. But perhaps evolutionary circumstances similar to those that led us to develop limbs and fingers to manipulate tools arose on alien planets. Maybe being bipeds with bilateral symmetry is a prerequisite for building socially and technologically advanced societies. In this respect, some researchers say we possess a, quote, pretty optimal design for an intelligent being, said Seth Shostak, senior astronomer at the SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute. It could be that there is no other choice but for intelligent beings to look like humans. I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, look like humans. And who, of course, are the superior humans for them to look like? Yeah. You know what I'm saying. Next question, faster than light speed travel? That sounds something. Nothing so far as we can travel faster to one of the pillars of modern physics, Einstein's general theory of relativity. Whereas general relativity says objects cannot travel faster than the speed of light as measured in local surrounding space, it doesn't place limits on the speed at which space itself expands or contracts. It's this loophole some physicists are hanging their faster than light hat on. A warp bubble around a ship, for instance, could make space-time itself contract in front of the ship and expand behind it. The warp bubble is a volume of space that might be able to move at speeds faster than light, as measured by space surrounding the bubble, said Gerald Cleaver, a professor of physics at Baylor University. Object inside the warp bubble would be at rest with regard to the warp bubble, but would also be moving faster than the speed of light with regard to the surrounding space outside the bubble. I kind of like that idea. Let me copy, cut, and paste this one. Bear with me. Faster than speed light travel. I'm going to say this one. This is from Science Fact or Fiction. And I do see another comment, and I'm not going to stay on too much longer. I'm kind of a little bit tired. It's 10 minutes after we've been on for almost 70 minutes. I'm a little bit tired. It's been one of those weeks. And Grover in the house says, I can also see that in the future, each home will generate some parts of its own energy for self-sufficiency. In fact, that's probably going to be sooner than later. As the scale of energy producing devices is shrinking, as the efficiency of solar photovoltaic is going up. The last time I was looking into that, I think it was at something like 24% efficient, which is a vast improvement over previous generations of photovoltaic cell energy efficiency. And if it could reach 28, 30% efficiency within the next 10, 15 years or so, you're going to start to see the amount of energy that hits a house's roof converted at that level, which would be probably a third more efficient than what we're seeing now. You're going to be able to see much more energy coming out of photovoltaic panels, as well as the efficiency of the machines, the technology that this renewable energy is generating. As those become efficient, we're going to have increase of output and an increase of efficiency to a point. I think you're right. Each house will be autonomous and independent. I have been kicking this idea for the Kujichagulia villages that several of the houses share the same photovoltaic generating capability. If you put panels on, say, 5 houses, and in those 5 houses, people would not be using energy all at the same time, and you have a storage capacity that could save the excess energy generated and then use it at the times when it's most needed. You could see the development of a neighborhood-wide mini-grid, microgrid. There's a lot of possibility there. That is one of the hallmarks of the Kujichagulia Villages strategic plan, is to create a whole spectrum, a whole series of renewable energy microgrids. Good idea. I appreciate, love that. Going forward, I'm going to go back to this article as I thought it was quite fascinating. Can I find the article real quickly? I may or may not be able to. This book is going to have a lot of different chapters. This is really kind of the exploratory chapter that we're sharing here so far today. Going back here, science, fact, or fiction. Faster than light travel, that was one we just talked about. Planet busting super weapons. In science fiction, planet busting super weapons are all the rage. Yet even more terrifying is the wherewithal to take out an entire star. The dastardly deed is theoretically possible, however, and even on time scales not stretching into millions of years. There's one scheme to me that seems not quite plausible, but it's close, said Mike Zarnstorff, an experimental plasma physicist and deputy director for research at the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory. A black hole launched into the sun would, quote, feed and grow exponentially, unquote, Zarnstorff told Life's Little Mysteries, and therefore would self-propel a star for its doom. A black hole could suck in all the mass of the sun, Zarnstorff said. And then they talk about teleportation. And that's, the idea of creating black holes as weapons. That's pretty sinister. Some people think like that. Teleportation. Any chance you will be beaming up or down anytime soon? Scientifically speaking, teleportation faces some extreme obstacles, ones that even the redoubtable Montgomery Scott would find trouble working around. With the teleportation of a large object, you run up against a conceptual no, said Sidney Perkowitz, a physicist at Emory University in Atlanta. Today, scientists have transported quantum information In one case, between photons nearly 10 miles, 16 kilometers from one another. Even so, such quantum teleportation is a far cry from teleporting actual material or even a person, with ideas for doing so, such as wormholes, remain entirely speculative and chock full of challenges. Even so, these achievements could lead to less fanciful, though still impressive, technologies, such as quantum computers, invisible cloaks, science, sentient planets, and they talking about sentient planet. To an extent, Earth is a living planet, as biological beings do indeed swim, crawl, and fly through our world's uttermost layers of ocean, land, and sky. But all that is still a far cry from the literally living conscious planets that make appearances in many sci-fi and fantasy stories. Take the living planet Mogo in Green Lantern, which changes climate and grow foliage in desired patterns on its surface at will. Or consider the moon Pandora from the 2009 film Avatar, where flora and fauna have evolved tentacle-like organs that enable them to neurally interlink with each other. A globe-spanning consciousness exists, with Pandora's trillion interconnected trees acting like cells in a colossal brain, dwarfing our mind's 100 billion neurons. In reality, the development of a planet-scale being looks to be an extreme long shot. Based upon the chemistries and behavior of life and non-life, don't bet on Mogo or Pandora, scientists say. The way evolution works, I can't see it happening, said Peter Ward, a professor of paleontology at the University of Washington. Well, as I was reading that, I wanted to break away sentence after sentence and say, from the perspective of a Kemetian priest, from the perspective of Ma'at, our Mother Earth is sentient. We may not understand any neurological structure, any brain nexus, but Earth is responding. Responds very, very slowly. But if you would ask me, is Earth sentient? I would say yes. If you ask me to argue that case, I think I would attempt to argue that case. I'm not going to do it right now. I'm a little bit tired, and that is a very challenging case to argue. Maybe in the book, Spectacular Discoveries along the magnificent journey to quantum advancement. Maybe there will be a chapter. I could go to the document right now, pull up the document, Quantum Advancement, and I was going to read from some of the document today. Maybe I'll do that right now, but let me just do this. The last chapter is called The Wakanda Vision. I'm going to, under Wakanda Vision, here are certain ideas that might be subchapters, such as pyramidology. No, these are ideas, chapters for the book. Pyramidology, the capstone as conductor, transmitter. A chapter, crystalline structures, being conductive transmitters and transducers. I have another one, Earth as a battery, an electromagnetic generator. And then underneath that, I'm going to put in another chapter title, Earth as a sentient being. And just type in she lives. Earth as a sentient being. More ideas from the book. Lightning as atmospheric electromagnetism. Now we're talking about how to capture, and this was, of course, one of the great lifelong experiments of Nikola Tesla, who will get a chapter in this book. Lightning, atmospheric electromagnetism. Next chapter or idea theme, Earth core, superheated molten metal and crystal manufacturer. That's what the Earth's core is. So therefore, we can understand Earth may not be a sentient being, but one could argue that Earth is a huge power, extremely complex machine. We do talk about the Tesla coil, which reaches into the atmosphere to grasp at this electromagnetic, uh, what's the word? Potential. I'm thinking, what's it called when you static at energy? Yeah, static. That's potential, electromagnetic potential. Hair as a conductor, antenna, and the power of the coil. Ask this question: why did Kemetic priests shave their heads? That's part of that whole idea of hair as a conductor. Asking the question is what kind of vision marijuana is it pro or anti neurocapacity? Saul Bona, an idea I see you. African fractals. We're going to do an exploration of the research of Muada Ashby, as well as an investigation into Dogon wisdom, pyramid equation, which is actually, pyramid equation is a formal concept that's been developed before. Quantum leap, melanin molecule, pineal gland interface, and I don't know, I'm going to change that from a pineal gland interface where we can appreciate the pineal gland, responsible for our circadian rhythm interface between the sun, electromagnetic radiation of the revolutions of the sun, and the day, the sun, our interface between life. Very important. But there's another part called the medial prefrontal cortex. Is another very important part. And why did this thing glitch? Medial prefrontal cortex. Oh, it's because I accidentally hit Control F and jumped into the find button. So just a couple more ideas. We're going to be talking about circadian rhythm, Keper Ra of the Sons of Ra Ministries. That's my I am Ka priest identity. We're going to be talking about dimensional perspectives. 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D, X, Y, Z, and time. That's 4D. Fifth dimension, description and comprehension of other dimensions. The path from linear to exponential to quantum. We'll talk about the tree of life. I think we'll talk about that when we get to Muada Ashby's research. The Sephiroth. Gagut, grand unification theory. That thing came out of Nigeria 20 years or so ago. It's been dropped because the guy who put it out turned out not to be a real scientist. Universal matrix, the fabric of reality. And I'll call that the Gagut hoax. I feel comfortable calling that the Gagut hoax. And then there is the new one. I'll have to put this one on here. God, I got all this stuff. The new one is called microsonic power. And I will go ahead and put that as hoax as well. It's still buzzing right now. We're still seeing a lot of YouTubers still buzzing about it. You're going to see fresh YouTube videos about Maxwell Chikumbutso and his microsonic power almost on a daily basis. They're just going for hits. By the time he's showing his invention, and then someone points out, you can buy that invention he's showing. It's the Browery solar power generator. You can buy it for, I found it for $474 on Amazon.com. The exact same one he's holding, saying he invented. So that's a hoax. That's a hoax. We did a good job today. I was speaking from one of my books, the book entitled This is Scientific Futurism. I think it's a really good book. This is Scientific Futurism. Today is that future we warned of in the past. A couple more books, brand new out. The Stem Cell Revolution. Subtitle of the book is A Holistic Approach to Stem Cell Activation and Regenerative Therapy. Another book I'm very proud of, just recently out. Disaster Preparedness for World Wars 5 and 6. And let me tell you, since Donald Trump has become president, World War 5 is becoming ever more prominent, and World War 6 is looming ever larger. There was a big change at the beginning of this year with BRICS Plus taking on a whole bunch of new partners. I think the BRICS coalition now is up to at least 24 different nations. And let me just make a quick reference to that before I leave today. Did BRICS, B-R-I-C-S, Plus expand again in January 2025? That's the question. That's the inquiry. Copy, because I'm going to search this on search different. This one, I used AI inquiry, and it says my latest knowledge is October 2023. So let me just put this in a regular search, not an AI. AI tends to be late. ChatGPT tends to be kind of behind the scenes. Here we go. This from Geopolitical Economy Report, dated December 25, 2024. I want to go to January 9th, 2025 from World Affairs in Context. BRICS is growing. Indonesia became a full member in January 2025. The extended bloc represents 41% of global GDP, purchasing power parity, and nearly half of the world population. Written by Lena Petrova. And this is very important information, people. I hope you don't sit on this. I hope our people don't sit on this and ignore this. This is just much too important to ignore. Real quickly, let me just save this here, minimize that, and put this link up so those of you can have access to it. And again, wherever you're listening right now, right now hit the like button. I see only 2 people have liked the broadcast on our main broadcast site, Rumble. That's unacceptable. That's just not fair. That's just not reasonable at all. We can do better than that. I know that we can do better than that. We're going to have to start to try to do better than that. BRICS is growing. Here's the article reads. Are they letting me see it? Here we go. The BRICS Plus Economic Alliance continues to expand. The new year began with Indonesia formally joining the bloc as its 10th full member, despite the alliance announcing in October 24 that all new memberships would be paused. And I think Nigeria has also joined this year. BRICS includes Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, Russia, India, China, Brazil, South Africa, and Indonesia. Saudi Arabia is not officially moved forward with its membership. The Extended Economic Alliance makes up half the world population and 41.4% of global GDP in purchasing power parity. Indonesia spent over a decade pursuing accession to the bloc. It expressed interest in joining as early as 2010, the same year South Africa became a member of the organization. According to the Brazilian Foreign Ministry, Indonesia's candidacy was initially endorsed by BRICS leaders in August 2023, but the country's leadership chose to postpone its formal accession to the bloc until the formation of its newly elected government. President Prabowo Subianto took office in October 2024, and the country's representatives confirmed its readiness to join during the summit in Kazan, Russia. So that is that story from India. Very important story. And I'm going to also look Is Nigeria now a member of BRICS Plus? And pull that up as news. And don't pull it up as news, pull it up as all. BRICS expands. This from January 19. So after the Indonesia story, 10 days later, this story comes out from Geopolitical Economy Report. BRICS expands to 54.6% of the world's population by adding Nigeria, Africa's most populous country. So there you go. BRICS now does include Indonesia and Nigeria. Indonesia, the fourth most populous nation in the world, and Nigeria, I believe, is the seventh most populous nation in the world, are now part of the BRICS expansion. Does anybody other than myself and Nguvu think that this is incredibly important, incredibly relevant to how the world will be going and how the world will hold back this brutality coming out of Washington, D.C.? I hope others see it. Put up the link, and the link is not going to fit on one Rumble link. So let me do it in two links on Rumble. And hopefully you, our listening audience, will be excited about what it is that we have to share. Just real quickly, put it up one more place, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today. You've been tuned into LIB Radio, LIB TV, and LivingBlack.com. We aim to be your favorite. We aim to always, every day, present cutting edge, over the horizon, real, verifiable research, which is why I always put these, or not always, but so much put these links and these sources up, because I want you to confirm stuff. We should be a lot more skeptical about the stuff we're seeing in the world. There are a lot of vulnerable, gullible people out here, but we don't aim to be part of that vulnerable, gullible society that just believes just dang near anything anybody says. We can do better than that, people. We can. But we got to have some sort of precedence for holding true to facts. That's why you tune in to LIB Radio, LIB TV, and LivingBlack.com. Today was a good day. Didn't even have to use your AK. But if you do have to battle, make it intellectual warfare. Only intellectual. So we battle with our minds. We battle for ideas and concepts. We battle for collaboration and cooperation, and ultimately every human on the entire planet will be the beneficiary of that which we stand up and say, this is truth. Truth we can use. I wish you all peace. I wish you all prosperity. And tell your friends to tell their friends that we have our own now. We are LIB Radio. We are LIB TV. We are LivingInBlack.com. Peace, y'all. Talk to you tomorrow.